He was fired from his own company, the same company he created. He was a college dropout yet became one of the most influential visionaries of our time. This is not just the story of Steve Jobs. This is the story of a man who taught the world how to think different. Steve Jobs was born in 1955 and put up for adoption shortly after birth. He was raised by Paul and Clara Jobs, a humble working-class couple in California. From an early age, Steve was curious, questioning everything, taking apart radios, tinkering with electronics. School bored him, but curiosity drew. When he got to college, he realized something: he didn't want to spend his parents' life savings on an education he didn't find meaningful. He dropped out, but stayed on campus to attend classes that interested him. One of them was calligraphy. At the time, it seemed useless. Years later, it inspired the beautiful fonts on the first Macintosh computer, a small decision that changed design forever. In 1976, in a small garage in Los Altos, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the first Apple computer. They sold Jobs' Volkswagen van and Wozniak's calculator to fund it. Apple wasn't just about building machines, it was about making technology friendly, personal, and beautiful. In less than 10 years, Apple became a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. Jobs was just 30 years old, but behind the success, tensions were growing. In 1985, after a power struggle with the board, Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he had built from nothing. It broke him. He later said, "What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating." But then he added something powerful: "It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." Because sometimes, life hits you in the head with a brick, and that's when you find out what you're really made of. After leaving Apple, Steve did not give up. He started next, a computer company ahead of its time. He also bought a small animation studio called Pixar. At first, both ventures struggled, but Steve kept going. In 1995, Pixar released Toy Story, the first full-length computer animated film. It became a global hit, changing animation forever. Meanwhile, Apple was on the verge of collapse, and in 1997, in a twist no one expected, Apple bought Next, bringing Steve Jobs back home. Steve believed that passion was the fuel for greatness. At Stanford in 2005, he told graduates, "Your time is limited, so do not waste it living someone else's life." He believed in connecting the dots, even when you could not see the full picture. Looking back, he said, "You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards." Which means trust your journey, even when it feels uncertain. In 2011, Steve Jobs lost his battle with pancreatic cancer. He was only 56. The world mourned not just the loss of a businessman, but the loss of a visionary. Today, his ideas live in every device we use, every swipe on our phones, every design that puts the user first. Steve Jobs proved you don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to believe deeply in your vision and have the courage to follow it. Because in the end, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And Steve Jobs was one of them.